Yes, sir. 1 2 1 2. All right, y'all. We back at it, man. It's your boy DJ Cliff, up in here. It's another episode of DJ Cliff Presents, and we out here at Rockin' Horse Studios. And I got to be fanboy for just a minute because I'm in the presence of a legend, Mr. SlimKid3. What's up, homie?
What's up? What's up?
I'm good, brother. Thank you so much for taking time. And I say this, but like for you, it's a seriously busy schedule, man. You on the run?
Yeah, I'm making moves. I'm recording every day. I was standing out in front of this place,
Yeah,
and I know I was supposed to call you,
yeah.
but I was standing there because I have this rhyme stream just coming, just unfiltered right now. So I got my little recorder, and I'm just like as they come because I forget it instantly. So I got to record it down on my memo. Yeah, I'm just writing songs and songs and songs and traveling and all of that good stuff, DJing, you know.
So yeah, I wanna touch on all of that, man, because I don't know if people are up on all of the things that you got going on. Like we're gonna get into that in a minute.
All
But
right.
first up, I just gotta say, it's dope to be able to connect with you like this. We in Portland, Oregon,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
where you make home base right now.
It's home base.
And it's dope to just see you out and about, like actually, here in the community, not just when you're performing, but like in the community, which I
Yeah.
think is really dope, man.
I like Portland, man. I've been all over the world, and this is a very cool place for me. I've been in LA like all of my life, all of my life up until like 39 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe 37. I'm not sure. I forget. But it was just like, it was like sunshine all day. And I like sunshine, but I needed a break. I needed a place that had a little sun, a little rain, little fall, spring, summer, a little snow,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. And we definitely do get it all here.
Yeah, rivers and mountains,
Exactly.
I needed that. I need that.
Once you come here, I mean, I think that's a lot of people that are like me or who are not originally from here. That's what they find. Once you get here, it's hard to leave.
Yeah, I try not to tell people about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, this is our,
bro.
yeah, exactly. This is our little quiet place.
So SlimKid3 here. We gonna get into a bunch of stuff, man. It's interesting to sort of think back to when I was first introduced to you, not personally, but just as an artist.
Okay.
That was a while ago. Like it was a couple years ago that your first project celebrated 20 years.
Yeah.
Like that trips me out, bro.
Yeah, it trips me out too. It's pretty trippy, man.
I mean, to look back. I mean, I don't know if you do because you're so busy making new material. But when you think about when your first project dropped, I mean, when you first came on the scene as an MC, as we celebrate 40 years of hip hop, you were right there when hip hop was sort of an early adult years.
Yeah.
In your early adult years.
Yeah.
And now, hip hop is 40 years old.
That's crazy.
So you've had an opportunity to see this change in the genre.
Yeah.
Yet continue to stay relevant and continue to make music. I
Ooh.
mean, how does that happen?
I don't know, man. All I know is when I was a kid, there was like I had my aunt, my great aunt. She used to babysit me, and I used to hang out at her house all the time. And there was this teenage guy. His name was Foster.
Okay.
And I used to hang out with him. I was like, I could have been like 6, dude. I was just 6, 7, whatever, And as I was growing up, he was like somebody I looked up to. And he was in an actual band.
Yeah.
And what was crazy is when I went to Crozier Junior High School, at our lunchtime when I was in 7th grade, his band performed at my school.
Okay.
And they was rapping.
Okay.
And that was just crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so before that, I lived off of Rodeo and like La Cienega.
Okay.
I went to Baldwin Hills Elementary School, and I remember there was a few things that I remember in my childhood when I was that young, and one thing was, Knee Deep.
Okay. No doubt.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
George Clinton and that.
Yes,
You can play it all day.
Yeah.
All of their stuff,
Yeah.
and it was endless. It was like 15 minutes. Whatever
Right.
songs.
Right.
That's when songs were super songs.
Right.
And the other song that I remember was Sugar Hill Gang.
No doubt.
I said a hip hop,
Exactly.
a hippie to the hip hop, you don't stop.
Yeah.
All of that, UTFO.
Yeah.
Okay, like I got into hip hop because of a friend of mine, Sean Margula, because I was into things like The Cure, B-52s,
Right.
and that new wave stuff, New Order, and all of that.
Right.
And my friend Sean Margula, he was in the hip hop pretty heavy, so he introduced me to like Run DMC, LL Cool J, and I was hooked. Then, because first it was like Yo Yvette, and my radio, all of that stuff. So LL was like pretty damn hard for me. I that was one of my favorites. Then, I would hear KRS-One.
Okay. Whole different.
I got to take you through this thing because when you're talking about it, man, this is what superly inspired me. Listening to KRS-One, BDP.
Okay.
My philosophy.
Yes,
Then, getting older, there was like in my teen years, hanging out with my boys Kai and Imani. You know what I'm saying? We listened to NWA. Okay. Those were the days when we was doing our little dirt and stuff, being little badass kids. My mom never knew where I was at. It's so crazy.
Looking back,
looking back, damn, we was bad. You know what I mean? But we weren't as bad as the bad kids. Yeah. But we was like we was right along with them a little bit. You know what I mean? So this was our life. And the reason why I mentioned all of these things, even like we were the bad kids type of thing and we weren't as bad as the others, is a lot of our friends were, gangbangers. First we was just kids playing football in the streets. You know what I mean? Then I became a skater and my homeboys became gangsters. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So it was, because it was just, there was two sides. There was Bloods, there was Crips, but I had friends on both sides. So there was nothing I could do but keep riding my skateboard, basically. You know what I mean? So, and the music that was out was Toddy T. The music that was out was NWA, and these are the things that represented the culture of where we came up in Los Angeles. I gravitated to, the East Coast music a lot because when I started breakdancing and stuff like that and really getting into the dance culture, oh man, there's so much in the dance culture too. I got to go back just a bit because there was Egyptian Lover.
Oh yeah.
There was I used to go and watch Joe Cooley spin because he came to our high school DJing. He was just scratching It's Time and all that stuff. So all of this hip hop was just like really building. In me, like, wow, it's like sun shining on a seed, with plenty of the great soil and plenty of like good water, and everything, and I didn't realize I was blossoming into hip hop. I was trying to be a fighter pilot, to be honest with you, and I was going to college. I was in high school in ROTC, preparing to go to college to become an officer, to go and fly a Harrier jump jet. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. That's what I wanted to do. Oh, always, for sure. Yeah. I had a need for speed. No doubt. You know what I mean? It took a turn. I had an epiphany when I was going to school, and I was just thinking, like, damn, well, what if I was one of those guys in the bombers, and I bombed this city? Because I bombed the city because that was an order given to me. Right. But then one day, off into some future, I was at a bar and I sat down and I was talking to some random person that told me a story of how his village got bombed and when he was a child and all of this stuff. And then I'm like, damn, well, that was me that pushed that button. Yeah.
That's deep.
So that's really deep. And that happened to me when I was in college because I was really focused to go and do it. Yeah. So that being said, that was a part of who I am today, what the hell I believe in, and all of that stuff, because it makes sense, and it makes sense for me to think, to have that epiphany, and to be where I am now, to say the things that I say at times. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so to turn this all around, I had to go back to high school and junior high school. There was friends of mine that were always freestyling and rapping, but I wasn't one of them. Okay. At all. Yeah. I was a skater. I listened to new wave music, and when I was with my friend Sean Margula, we play hip hop. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I break dance to Kano and Electric Kingdom and all of that stuff. I was into my popping and locking and watching Beat Street and all of that stuff. Yeah. This was the seed. Still, I was not thinking of rapping. Right. It's so funny that like in my English classes, my teacher would always compliment me on my writing, and I had no idea what the hell she was talking about. Yeah. I'm like, really? You like this? She's like, yeah, you're such a great writer and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, okay, if you say so. Yeah. and that was just that. Then I just started kind of like writing poetry. I would sit up at my grandmother's house till like wee hours in the morning, 3 a.m., things like that, writing rhymes.
Yeah.
And I think this was when I was in college.
Okay.
So I still wasn't like really like an MC or anything.
Yeah.
I would write songs,
Yeah.
just because you know, all through school, I always had music in my head. I was always distracted. Like I could read a book, I can read like 2 sentences and get lost in what the sentence said, but never go back to the rest of the paragraph.
Okay.
And then school was out
Yeah.
because that's how my mind worked. And there was always music and songs in my head all the time. And it was like really distracting me in school. You know what I mean? I wasn't so good at school because I always had music in my head,
Okay.
Okay. And so it's just so funny how this is what the universe chose me to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would hang out in college. I know I'm jumping around because that's just how my brain works.
Nah, that's definitely
I'm jumping around because like in college at El Camino where I used to hang out with this guy, Robert Tillis, and we used to write rhymes together.
Yeah.
And so he was like, yo, I think I need you to meet my girlfriend's little brother. He's a producer.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, that's what's up, man. Just write music or whatever. So the person he linked me up with was Jay Swift. So all the stories is, it's coming in. It's coming in.
That's what's up.
And so, Jay Swift was super dope. He's like 14, 15 when I met him. You know what I mean? 14, 15, about 15, 16, something like that. Because he was a little crafty he's still the same crafty little dude. I love that guy, though. I love that guy with everything I got, man.
Yeah.
He always made super dope beats. He had brought us to SCU where basically where the Pharcyde kind of began.
Okay. Okay.
We were a group called 2 for 2 at first.
Yeah.
It was myself, Imani, and Romai, and Robert Vincent,
Okay.
who's a member that nobody knows,
Yeah.
haven't seen because he chose to. In our dancing days, that's how we made our money.
Okay.
We danced in videos. We danced by just all kind of artists. Till one day we like, man, we got to start dancing for ourselves and do this for ourselves, and that's kind of like how it also developed. We did a lot of showcases at Locke High School with Reggie Andrews because he was our mentor. Reggie Andrews was a executive producer of like Rick James when he worked at Motown. He did music for Patrice Rushen. He was in the mix.
Okay.
And he dedicated his life basically to train artists like me.
Yeah.
And we would like every Sunday or Tuesday or something, we'd be at the studio with all the other groups and we'd be talking about music, song structure, music business stuff. He was superly an important part of our life.
Okay.
Period. Just because of him showing us what it is and what it's not. If it's a hit, it's a hit. They'll catch you in the first 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just great to be. It was great to work with him, and we definitely got to give back to him. I don't know how we gonna do it, but we gotta do it. You know what I mean? Like, damn, what can I donate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's an incredible person.
So coming from someone who, again, was introduced to you as the artist SlimKid3, as a part of this group who did amazing things. When you think about, like you said, in that era, I mean, that was a time when groups like Run DMC not Run DMC, like NWA were, I mean, they had the attention of all of us who were into hip hop.
Yeah.
And when we think of West Coast hip hop.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when your crew came on the scene and you heard that and you realized, wow, that's what's happening on the West Coast, because I came up on the East Coast and then in the South.
Okay.
So I always had that ear for that East Coast sound.
Yeah.
So when I heard the Pharcyde for the first time, and that's coming from the West Coast, like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But see, it's interesting to me though, because again, like, you ran off all of these people who you listened to when you were coming up, and I think we all do the same thing. But for me, when I'm running down that list of groups and artists, the Pharcyde is a part of that.
That's so dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
It's like so that being said, can you I mean, what do you do with that? Because in a sense, man, I mean, you're a bit of an icon.
Thank you.
You know
Thank
what I
you.
mean? When
Thank
you
you.
think of the fact that you can't talk about the history of this genre of music
Without,
and not mention
yeah.
the Pharcyde.
That's what's up.
You know what I
Oh
mean?
my God, that's what's up. Yeah.
You've had an impact on millions of young people who are trying to come up in the game.
Yeah.
Some of the music that you guys made together is iconic. You know, when people are putting that set together, you know, you got to throw a Pharcyde in there.
You know, so I'm glad you said that, because like I look at these different like Run DMCs and Fat Boys and all that. I look at them as gateways for other MCs to come through it.
Right.
And so as I say that, when you say like Pharcyde is in there, like an icon and things like that, we're a gateway for, you know, the Odd Futures, or we're the gateway for, you know, or whomever.
Right.
And our gateway was, you know, like a De La Soul, or like a Beastie Boys, which is awesome gateways, because without those gates, I feel like folks wouldn't even have the courage to do it, to do what it is we do, like oh, you think you naked?
Right.
Well, check this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now Odd Future's like, well, you think you naked? You think Pharcyde was naked? Check this out.
Right.
So, and it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And I love everything about it, because we need to see the world exposed. Because we're seeing, a lot of times we're seeing a lot of masks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody's trying to peek in the windows to see the truth.
Yeah. So then with that, once again, talking to SlimKid3 of Bizarre Ride, how do you make sure that you're creating the balance? Because that's one of the things that I think is sort of missing. Like I said,
Okay.
I mean, it was really easy to go into my cassette tape case, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And pull out the NWA cassette.
Yeah.
And then pull out the Pharcyde cassette, and then pull out the Run DMC cassette. And
Wow.
Then pull out the Two Live Crew cassette. I mean, there was a balance.
Wow.
And
You just like those are like planets revolving around the sun.
Yeah. But
And they're different planets.
very, very different.
Ooh, and they're just fun
to
too.
the places that they're from.
Yeah.
And now I think with the amazing tool that we have of social media, there's a whole lot of crossover.
Yeah.
But there also feels like there's less of that balance. There's less of that diversity from my standpoint. But as an artist who's making music, do you see that?
I think there has to be breakthroughs for you to even see what the balance is.
Okay.
Balance is good. Balance is all things, not just, you know, man, it's dark and light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the way it was intended to be. Because they're all like pictures for us to like gaze at and learn from. You know what I mean? I'm still like learning every single day.
Yeah.
And I'll still be learning, you know, like the things I listened to then or looked at in the past was a lot different than the things I listen to and look at now. Like Alan Watts.
Okay.
I listen to him. I'm so into philosophy and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm so into, you know, like Abraham Hicks stuff, because I'm just at a different, and not to say that that's light per se, but it is balanced and it's very zen and it's very like, let the world be what the world is, or you'll get tired trying to fix it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, let the color be the color.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I can do what that is, as long as I keep what my grandma always kind of like told me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Treat others how you want to be treated. You know what I mean? Like, just don't bring harm to people. Don't bring harm to things.
Yeah.
That's how. Do what you want to do,
Yeah.
but don't mess everything up while you're doing it. You know, like there's African proverbs that say, you know, don't kick over with your feet what you build with your hands.
Okay. Yeah.
These are things. There's little things that I kind of put little Post-its on my own body. You know what I mean? Because that means something to me. You know what I mean? Like it helps me to fly a little bit higher, even if there is a high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll just be open, a little bit more open. Without judging nothing. but watching what it is. You know what I mean? Watching everything. I don't choose to kill a man.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah. Yeah. That's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like I don't
yeah,
choose
absolutely.
to kill a man. Like I don't feel like there's a need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's a choice. It's a choice in everything that we do.
A fool's gonna die on his own.
Come on, man.
They don't need my help.
Straight up in here. Preach
You know what I'm
it.
saying? A fool gonna die on his own. They don't need my help. You know what I'm saying?
Up in here with SlimKid3. So, and let me just say this, man. Trey's all over social media. You can check him out, SlimKid3. It's SlimKid3. A lot of this, I mean, and that's one of the cool things to watch. Again, to watch from a distance, man. Just your perspective on life, on the planet, on the travels that you take. It's cool to kind of be to take those trips with you as you share that. You know,
Yeah, and they're trips, dude. Because a couple important things that was said to me as I was transitioning into what I feel I am, just being open, just being me currently.
Yeah.
It was during my Phoenix days, my Legend of Phoenix days, and there was a lot of prophetic stuff that I felt that was flowing through me, channeled, however you want to see it, and I was present. I was so present. I think it was during my, we call it the Saturn return days. You know about that stuff, where you could, if you don't survive your Saturn return, you basically die.
Okay.
You know, like. Let's see. Let's talk about Saturn return.
Okay.
Age 27. A lot of hard times, a lot of hardships have been, for me personally, I've been through. Getting through that time was a super struggle. But it was super, there was like layers of the onion that was being peeled off about who I am. It's not what my mom thought I was supposed to be. It's not about what people thought I was supposed to be, but who am I? Yeah. This essence. Yeah. You know, people that didn't survive the 27s was the Kurt Cobains, the Jimi Hendrix, the Janis Joplins, and they were really on. They were that energy was flowing through them hardcore, unobstructed. That's why they're considered or like looked upon as gods in what they're due, because it was you couldn't stop that shine, that flow, that star. That star. That's what we all see. We all seek the star quality in each other. That's why when you see someone doing that thing, like a KRS-One, he's shining. Okay. And that's why we gravitate to it. It's like when the sun is out, everybody want to go to the beach. Okay. So when the sun's out in you, everybody want to come to see what's up. They want to just feel it. You don't have to say a word. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where it was at. Jimi Hendrix shined. Yeah. Janis Joplin shined. But like they went through that. That was that Saturn. Sorry, that was that Saturn stage. Yeah. The Saturn return stage. Yeah. I mean, that 27. The hardcore areas of you got to get it. Yeah. You got like we all like we're changing. You're not wearing the same shirt you did when you was 5 years old. Right. We grew. Right. They had to grow. Yeah. So like we don't have to look at it in a dark way, but they had to grow. Yeah.
So again, as an artist, you've been through huge successes, and then I'm going to use success in sort of the way that we use it as a culture.
Okay.
Where everybody looked at you as being this amazing artist, this amazing icon, to where people weren't giving you that same recognition to now where you're present again in people's eyes and minds, and then you always hear that sort of statement of SlimKid3 is back. When the fact of the matter is, Trey never went nowhere.
I never went nowhere.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you do with that? I mean, as an individual, how do you not let that make you just throw up your hands and walk away? Because we see that so often.
I'll tell you how. I'm gonna go back a little bit, because when I was trying to explain when I got caught up in the 27 thing was during that time I was making a lot of music that was like kind of prophetic to me, and a friend of mine said, not everybody wants to be preached to. And it's like, oh, okay, I get that. And then my sister had told me too, like a little bit further on and fast forwarding, she's like, sometimes you got to give a little sugar with the medicine. And so I just took that and I kind of, do what I do now. Right now, I'm pretty much unfiltered. Um, Tupac is a good representation of some like the conflict between good and evil sometimes, or what we see as good and evil,
Right.
dark and light, and all of that. You know.
Right.
And he was a Gemini. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a Libra, and I'm like balancing the scales also.
Yeah.
But what I like to be like water, where everybody can come to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
No matter what they did, I don't care.
Yeah.
Let's all wash up together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's
Yeah.
all get clean together. Let's all whatever that is. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
let's all drink and get quench our thirst. Whatever the hell that's supposed to be.
Okay.
You know, I'm really not judging people no more. Like I said, you do do unto others as you want to be done unto yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and my music currently is just I'm having fun.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna have fun. Sometimes me and my band Bizarre Ride, we kind of go the ignorant route,
Yeah.
and we just go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes it's funny.
Yeah.
And it's if you don't have a sense of humor, if you don't know to take things light,
Yeah.
you're gonna be you're gonna be stiff like a board and easy to break.
Okay.
You know, as opposed to like bamboo and you can sway in the wind.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And we need to sway in the wind. We need to laugh.
Yeah.
We need to not take things so serious all the time, because I think we're getting a little caught up. You know, we're getting caught up in labeling everything, ourselves, each other,
Yeah.
men versus women.
Yeah.
We all essence. We all energy. We are all powerful. That's how I see it. So sometimes when people, are talking, like I have my little times when I'm a little pussy.
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife will tell you. You know what I'm saying? Why you acting like a bitch?
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget
Yeah.
my strength.
Yeah.
And I go into those times when I was a child, when I wasn't getting what I needed, or what I thought I needed, or what I thought I deserved. I felt abandoned, whatever it was. Because that's still a part of me, but the strength is a part of me as much as the the weak part. And the tarot card that reflects that is the Eon,
Okay.
whereas it's the child inside of a god.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So right now, like the music that you guys heard currently that I just put out,
Yeah.
there's some little fragments in there. It's like kind of looking out into space and you seeing stars. There's fragments and sprinkles of some enlightening stuff, and there's fragments and sprinkles of, just ghetto stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's important. What I like about Eminem,
Yeah.
or what I like about Eminem is he seems to be unfiltered. I don't take it serious like people do. Oh, I hate him. He's like, but I'm like, man, to me, I'm a strong person.
Yeah.
And I think everybody is a strong person or can be capable of it.
Yeah.
But what I do like, I'm listening to, he's trying to say something. There's pain in everybody. There's something in everybody that folks are, like we gotta let it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got like we all like shaking up soda bottles,
Yeah.
waiting for the quarter pop. So he's letting it all out.
Yeah.
He's like, and some of the stuff is kind of funny. Some of the stuff can be looked upon as rude or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I wouldn't say that shit.
Yeah.
But he did.
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny. Or it's funny, but it's not funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not really something that I kind of like take super seriously like other people are doing. Like, I know that I still got to live a life. I still got to raise my son. I still got to love my wife. I still got to, visit my mom. Like,
Yeah.
life goes on. You can't be tripping over just little things.
Yeah.
So he's one thing. I listen to the message underneath all the stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how I write sometimes. I write, but there's definitely a message underneath all of mine too. And mine just equates back to love.
That's what's up.
Like all the stuff that I may be saying, the stuff that might seem rah-rah or whatever, like folks are only tough because they're trying to live in the environment that they're brought up in. But at the core of each and every one of them is someone that wants to be loved or that wants to be a part of something strong. You know what I mean? And sometimes we take that strong wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, some of the toughest guys that I know let me know that it ain't about, the brute force.
Right.
But sometimes it takes brute force to get some sort of respect, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I get that because I look at I take that and I look at the animal kingdom.
Right.
You know, there's like in some areas there's a hierarchy of things. You know, just a natural hierarchy. Like there's the alpha,
Yeah.
and then there's the rest.
Right.
And it just trickles down, and everything trickles down no matter how you want to look at it. Be like a gangbanger, a dope dealer, a preacher, a mom of the house,
Yeah.
a father of the house.
Yeah.
Because in me and my wife is sometimes I'm the strong one and sometimes she's the strong one, and we can't both be that. So I gotta let it go.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather have a happy home, and you know, like, man, I don't have to, man, I ain't gotta rule this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got other things that I can, you know, like where I'm the king of the ruler of.
Yeah.
I want this house to be peaceful.
Yeah. And that's the way that we should, you know, again, if we were all able to do that, to step aside and say, let me do what I can do.
Let me be the king and the strength of the parts where I'm supposed to.
There you go.
Because sometimes she like, hey, king, I need you.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought you never asked. I brought my cape.
Exactly. Up in here with SlimKid3, man, Bizarre Ride. So, let me look at a couple of things here, man, because there's so much stuff to touch on. So we talked a little bit about, you mentioned the music that you're making now. One of the things that I think is real dope is that, to me, I interpret that as you saying, you're being honest. You're being honest.
Yeah.
Like, your music is a representation of who you are as Trey, which I think is dope.
Yeah.
Because you know, we're sort of at that place, I think. I remember several years ago when hip hop was, in its, you know, mid-20s or whatever. When people were saying, well, hip hop is a young man's game now, because I'm not doing those things that I was doing when I was younger. But what I interpret you saying is what you're talking about is who you are. And in every genre of music, hip hop is still young.
Yeah.
But in every genre of music, that's what happens. You know, if you look at rock, if you look at soul, if you look at the blues, if you look at jazz, those artists are talking about their current experience. And it seems to me now that hip hop is in a place where it's comfortable enough in its own skin that it can do that.
Yeah.
That I don't have to try to be what I was 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
This is who I am now.
Yeah.
And sharing that with the listening audience, which I think is really dope, which is coming across in the music that you're making right now, you know what I mean?
Well, what's good about that too is, like, I look at the A$AP Rockies and I look at the Kendrick Lamars.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so we're the older cats over here. We're over here being ourselves, but we're looking at the younger cats, and they're really closer to, I feel like they're closer to, it's like a baby. They're closer to being with God than we are.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you put more armor on.
Okay.
And when you look at the youth, it's like, damn, I got too much armor on, because they don't have too much on at all.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're all kind of look like, in the youth is trying to look to us. We need guidance on this new planet that we just arrived to not so long ago.
Yeah.
But the point is, you got to free yourself. You got to not take all this stuff to heart, man. You got to take this with a grain of salt, you know.
Yeah.
And that takes me back to my Alan Watts that I watch all the time, because it's just looking at everything and you got to laugh about it.
Yeah.
You got to laugh about it.
Yeah. SlimKid3 here, man. Once again, just preaching to y'all. All right, so now we fast forward to man, a couple different things I want to sort of touch on. A minute ago, like I said, y'all celebrated 20 years of the release of
Bizarre Ride
to the Pharcyde.
Yep. Proud of it.
You
Woo!
know, that's crazy.
That's
bro.
really cool.
I mean, you had an opportunity to go back down to LA.
Yep.
and do a show and connect with fans who have been listening to that material for anywhere from 5 years to 20 years. You know, just
crazy.
Just to be a part of something like that must have been.
Yeah, it was a blessing.
Yeah.
I feel like we were blessed. We were chosen to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when I look at our music, I'm like, the spirits ask us.
Yeah.
We were the vehicle.
Yeah.
To make that happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I always have this little cake analogy. I'm like, this cake was baked with certain ingredients. And without without certain ingredients, it's not the same thing. Maybe it's a pie,
Yeah.
but it's not a cake.
Right.
It's not that kind of cake.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So what was good about the 20-year anniversary was me reconnecting with Jay Swift, who had went through some serious trials that was unbelievable to all of us, including himself. You know what I mean? And reconnecting with him, reconnecting with Fat Lip and LAJ.
Yeah.
And also K Natural, who's from the Wascals. He was like our little brother group, and he's actually the baby of all of us,
Okay.
even the Wascals, you know. But reconnecting with them and just talking about life, and reconnecting with Mike Ross and DV Team, Rick Ross, just to be around that energy that made Bizarre Ride.
Yeah.
And when I say, I'm not just talking about the 4 members that people see,
Yeah.
Imani, Booty Brown, Fat Lip, and SlimKid3.
Right.
You know, there was more to that.
Yeah.
Mike Ross was a part of it.
Yeah.
Rick Ross was a part of it. Delicious Vinyl, all the members at that time were a part of it. You know, LAJ, Jay Swift, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was a part of that magic. Hollywood Sound.
Yeah.
All the people that came through Hollywood Sound. You know who went through Hollywood Sound?
Huh.
Where we made our first album?
Come on.
Patti LaBelle,
Okay.
Prince, Earth, Wind and Fire. I think Hollywood Sound was one of the first places that had like a echo room, an actual echo room built.
Okay.
You know, like so people have these little modules with here, click
Right.
click it to echo
Right.
or delay.
Right.
So they had an actual room, you know, and just being in Hollywood Sound itself, and I felt like Hollywood Sound was like a vortex.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I say this? Is because there was times when I was recording where I just felt spirit
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had to catch myself, you know. But I mean, I wasn't afraid. It was like they was there for us. We were there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So many beautiful songs came through there, and we were there day and night. Sometimes like 48-hour days, you know. In our break times, we were in the pool room shooting pool, you know, ordering lunch because we were just in that creative, beautiful creative flow. Because that's what Bizarre Ride was. So now taking it back to the 20-year reunion part, linking with these people again opened up a vortex because we were having fun. We were having fun back then, and we recorded it.
Right.
And that gave everyone Bizarre Ride to the Pharcyde.
Okay.
That's how that was born. So on the 20-year reunion, a lot of the elements were present, minus 2. And as much as we wanted those 2 parts, maybe it's 2 parts water, you know, but we needed 4 parts water, or whatever we needed. That synergy was there. I feel like Pharcyde to me is this: it's an energy, and it calls for itself. It's like water; it can't be stopped. You can be walls, but eventually it's gonna get through those walls. Eventually it's going to spread out to the world like it's supposed to be, and like it's, you know, that's just what it is. It's just what it is.
That's what's up, man.
And this is the thing, I can't fight it. The spirits call you, and that's just that. And you gravitate to it. It's a pulling. You know what it's like. It's like kind of like when you fall in love. Like, I don't know why I keep just sliding over to this woman. But I can't. You'll be screaming and kicking and clawing your way, you know what I mean, on the ground. So that's what the Pharcyde energy does to us. And when you resist, you have conflict. But when you let go of resistance, you get the most beautiful music that you can feel. You have so much fun. You know what I mean? Because it's not there to hurt us. It's there to bless us, as well as the people, our listeners. It's a beautiful thing. And when we were on stage, bro, I'll tell you, because we were in Super Conflict, and we did Rock the Bells in Super Conflict. And I you know, my hat's off to Imani and Booty Brown, Fat Lip, and myself, because when we hit that stage, it means all bullshit goes away. The only thing present is the God Force energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whew, that's it.
Well, and it's crazy because I think, and just from the things that I've sort of picked up along the way, it really feels like the um, the discord in the group is known simply because the group is not together as the Pharcyde.
Yeah.
But I don't recall ever hearing anyone report at all on seeing the Pharcyde as a crew on stage and feeling that conflict. Like when the Pharcyde
Right.
is doing your thing,
Yeah.
it's what you would expect from the Pharcyde.
That's what's up.
And stuff, and life happens behind the scenes, but you guys were professional about it. And when you were representing that group, you truly represented it. So shout out to you guys for once again showing people how it's done. Like I said, life happens, and you're gonna have disagreements, but when you come together to do what you do what you do.
What's funny about all this is it's not about us.
Yeah.
And that's what we forgot.
Yeah.
Because we think it's about us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's about the music. I think about some of my favorite bands. I think about, like, War.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Growing up to that, I grew up to that.
Yeah.
That reminds me of my uncles, my grandfather, the little weed box with the seeds in it.
Yeah.
That you see, what is that? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got zigzags in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The barbecues, things like that. And I heard War. Let's have a picnic down at the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
Those were beautiful songs, man. And it took them to do it. You know what I mean? Or Chicago. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mentioned War because they're a band that broke up.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think some of them are performing currently, too. And I would love to go see it because that's just a vortex I like to feel musically.
Right.
And it would be like sometimes life is too short for people not to, let that magic be sprinkled on folks.
Yeah.
It ain't about you.
Yeah.
It's not about you. Get over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's up, man?
It ain't about me.
That's what's up.
Come on, man.
And for all it, well, I'm gonna just let that sit right there. Y'all heard it. So then in 2011 rolls through, and I had an opportunity to hear a joint that you did with another icon, another artist who, once again, you can't talk about the impact of hip hop, and I think of this crew as sort of that, to me, the crew that maintained, that reminded us of what a crew is about, of what that original feel and style of that East Coast hip hop is about, but yet again did it from the West Coast.
Okay.
When J5 came through.
Oh, Joe.
Right?
Yeah.
So in 2011, another day, another dollar.
Oh, yes, sir.
You killed it on that. But
That's what's up, man.
So with that, was that the first time that you and Numark collabed?
Yeah, that was the first time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. That was the first time.
If y'all don't know, go to SlimKid3.com.
Yeah, SlimKid3.com or DeliciousSvinyl.com. So you can get that SlimKid3 and DJ Numark album that's out right now.
Exactly.
Or on iTunes, too.
Oh, yeah. Scoop it up on iTunes. Scoop it up on iTunes.
But you can get the vinyl for the vinyl lovers. Can go to DeliciousVinyl.com.
And once again, before you leave, I'm going to be a fanboy because I just got my
I'm going to do
7-inch.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
I might have a marker.
Exactly. Get that.
Yeah,
get that
I'll
right
do
there.
it. I'll hit it up.
But y'all came together, another day, another dollar, and then the B-side was
It was Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Like, how did that even, I mean, I knew, obviously you knew of one another. I'm sure you guys have crossed paths, but how did that come together as a, hey, yo, let's get together and actually do something?
Well, I mean, like when you touring a lot,
Yeah.
you see people on the road like randomly. I think I was on tour with Ozier because I was in Ozier for a little
That's
bit
right.
too.
Yeah, that's right.
And just running into cats, in the lobby.
Okay.
Like, yo, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a long time. Yo, we got to do something. I know,
Right,
just
okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
So next time I saw him, I caught him at, he was here in Portland.
Okay.
he was DJing.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm catching the set because I DJ too. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta go check him out. So I went over there, and boy, he killed it. It's just his selections.
Yeah.
He knows what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
He really does.
Yeah.
He knows, like, as a DJ, I know, like, I work off of musical texture, and I know how to trigger the crowd because I was a dancer.
Right.
And I know what sparked me to, like, I've got to get to the dance floor.
Right.
Like, I don't know what you doing. Like, you fine. Ooh, girl, you fine. But I got to get to the dance floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hold my drink.
Yeah.
You know? And so he knows how to hit those triggers. And so do I. So it was good to collaborate with him, you know, as a DJ. And sometimes I would be wondering, like, damn, man, all these DJs are like, work for these record companies that are like A&Rs and stuff like that. I'm like, why? But now I know, because a DJ really knows what's going to move the crowd.
Right.
You know what I mean? Big shout to the Jazzy Jeffs. Big shout to the Pete Rocks.
Yeah.
Big shout to, you know, all the DJs out there. You know what I mean?
No doubt. So when you guys did that, that single and B-side, was the thought eventually we want to do a EP or a full-length project, or was it let's do this project and let it be what it is?
Well, we did those songs, you know, and it was cool. It was so cool to do it.
Yeah.
But we were planning to try to create a supergroup, some kind of, you know, but we never got around to finding who would fit.
Yeah.
So we're like, just, you know what? He's like, you know what, T, we're on a good roll. Let's just look. I got some beats, you know what I mean? So I went through these beats. He's like, I got specific beats that I've been putting aside for you to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, let me check them out. Some I got with, I was feeling. Some I was like, I don't know. He's like, no, dude, revisit this.
Yeah.
Let me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. And sometimes, like, there was things that I recorded here in Portland, and I sent it over, and he's like, you know, T, I think you need to just come on down. Like, this is cool, but I was thinking of a different direction. Then I was like, oh, man, those were some hard-ass rhymes that I just, what?
Yeah.
Nigga, what? All right, here I go. I'm packing my shit. Here I come. Dum, 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 dum. You know, we're at Numark's house, and we're combing through just everything meticulously, and it worked. But it was good. A good lesson that I learned working with him is sometimes you got to get out of you being you. So I'm like writing rhymes, and he's like, this part is fine and that part is fine, but this middle part, can you change it? And it wasn't because of what it was, the lyrical content. He just wanted it needed to move differently.
Right.
Melody wise. And I'm like, okay, you want me to extract this shit? Now this whole thing doesn't make sense?
Right.
What the fuck? All right, I'm going to go sit outside and work it out.
Yeah.
So I did. I went to sit outside, and I just opened. I had to be open. I had to get open.
Yeah.
And I take the filter off.
Yeah.
Don't judge it. Just let it come, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I did it, and he's like, yo, that shit's on fire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you like it?
Yeah.
Whenever I get that guy sparking, I'm like, well, it's good. Right. Well, it's a good old day.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate.
Yeah. That's what's up. And it's interesting because like the whole project's dope. Of course, I have my favorites, but so the first visual that you dropped for Bomb Bomb Fire.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting stylistically what you folk did with that track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've heard a lot of the stuff that you've done.
Yeah.
Through the years. But to hear what you guys did stylistically on that track is very, very interesting. The syncopation in the track, and then the way your vocals ride on top of that.
That's what's up.
And then just trying to, just like at first you're like how did you even catch that to start on? Like, where's the one?
Right.
You know what I mean? How'd you even? So stylistically, I think it's really, really dope. And so when you speak on that, like when you speak on him guiding you to kind of step out of self, it doesn't sound like anything that I've heard you do before.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean?
I like that. That's cool.
Which is really, really dope.
Yeah.
Just that growth.
And you had to like really feel things though too.
Yeah.
At the same time as he's slapping shit away.
Right.
Okay, well, so what do I feel now?
No doubt, man. SlimKid3 up in here. So once again, it's available right now. SlimKid3 and I can't even talk. SlimKid3 and DJ Numark is the name of the EP. Joints on there. The track that y'all did with J Live.
Oh yeah, man. Fade to Black.
Come on now. Come on now. You gotta go check it out. Oh, so then this is the other thing. So, as a radio DJ, I just have to say thank you very much for making the decision to release the project with radio edits.
Thank you, because I didn't do that. Shoot. And I need to remember to make edits, but my son is like, you don't even have to curse. Like, who asked you? Go play those video games again. No, he's like, every time you curse, you owe me $1.
Oh, that's what's up. Tell your
but
son.
My son is brilliant. He's really brilliant because he'll listen to like a Angel Hayes or Iggy Azalea or and he'll be like, I don't know why they curse and they don't even have to do that. There's other words. And I'm like, who is this dude? And he's over there with his playing his games where they was Halo, just shooting things and chopping stuff up.
Right.
Like, how you gonna tell me of who can't curse when you over there with the video game shooting everything?
Yeah.
Zombie machine. But he's really intelligent.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
kids are really intelligent.
But that's a reflection on their parents. So
that's what's up, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the project is dope. When you go scoop it up, you get so much because you get the original versions, you get instrumentals, you get acapellas, and you get radio edits. So if you're a DJ, if you like to remix stuff, you get all that just for scooping the project. So I think it's interesting, and I think it's dope that you guys that someone made the decision to do that. You know what I mean?
It was that's in the past. Yeah. That's where I messed up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because by having the radio edits, it can be in Target.
Exactly.
It can be in other places where kids can, listen to it. Yeah. Kids already know, by the way. I don't know what we editing. But
yeah. But again, and then as a DJ, it's dope to be able to have those instrumentals. To be able to have those,
my
because
God.
times are different. Vinyl. I guess if you continue to look for it, you could find vinyl, but it's easier to access it. But it used to be you'd get the vinyl, and so you could get that acapella so that you could remix it, or you could get that instrument.
So check this. I DJ'd at a mall once.
Okay.
And I played this song and a curse word, like not just a curse word, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody on the side for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't get to that. I couldn't get there to change that record fast enough. Yeah. And you're just looking at little kids with the balloons and their parents, and they're like,
right.
Yeah. I'm like, y'all know what cursing is, but but I get it. I'm a parent. I sweated so hard. I had beads of sweat everywhere. Cold sweat.
So that's the other thing, though. Like I said, I mean, we get to see you out here, as in the community. So, you're making music, but you are also DJing. Like, not on some, we're having an event and we asked Trey to come in.
Nah,
like you
super
out here
DJ,
doing it, man.
Super doing it, man. And I love it though.
Yeah,
I love it, and it's reflective of my childhood.
Yeah,
because I used to babysit myself, basically. Like my mom had, she had to work, and so first grade had to walk home by myself. Latchkey kids, I know all about it. I'm sure you do too.
Oh yeah,
it was that type of time.
Yeah.
My mom had just records and records, just so many records, and I used to listen to from Alice in Wonderland stories to Earth, Wind and Fire to the Blackbirds to New Birth.
Yeah.
I was listening to music every day, all day.
Yeah, it becomes a part of who you are.
Right. And then, I go to my grandparents' house and they just had more records because they was in they were young. Mm-hmm. They were in their 40s. They were young with their friends and having their dinner parties and stuff like that. And you would hear anything from Grant Green to man, what did they, Eddie Grant.
Oh, yeah.
Still Pulse.
Yeah.
Bob Marley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isley Brothers. You're going to always hear Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
But it was just that's just what it was. And like the 70s was such a real time, to be honest with you. It was real. Mm-hmm. It's what we forgot. We forgot how to be, man. The 60s was so like open, and the 70s was so real and like conscious, you know what I mean? We're getting back to a consciousness. It's kind of frou-frou, but we back to a consciousness that used to exist in such a soulful way.
Yeah. And you're right. I mean, and it is interesting just to sort of see that that change. You talk about the era of the 60s moving into the 70s and everything that happened in between, and we are in a very almost palpable time right now where you can feel that things are changing.
Yeah. No, you can
know?
feel.
You know what I mean?
In a good level, though.
Yeah.
Despite all the police brutality and killings that's happening, that I do not agree with. Please protect and serve, and only do that.
Yeah.
Please go to get some psychology, psychiatric. Something to go on.
Yeah.
There's too big of a separation.
And unfortunately, that's been happening. We know that that's been happening for a minute. Just the divide within this nation has gotten greater and greater over the last 8, 10, 12 years.
And it goes both ways, though, too.
Oh, yeah.
As people, we need to not do dumbass shit.
Yeah. Well, I've said that. You know what I mean? You can't on one hand get up and say what you're doing is wrong. You're not treating me equally.
Right.
And then on the other hand,
just do dumb shit.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So be responsible. Be responsible. Human
be
beings.
responsible on both ends. On both. I so am against that police brutality stuff because it's gotten out of hand.
Well, I mean,
it's gotten out of hand. People are really dying.
Well, at the end of the day, it is. I mean, you spoke a little bit in a different context. You spoke on slavery.
Yeah.
But how is this any different? Those in power.
Oh, I know.
I
know.
Are
it's just it just looks different.
Yeah.
It's a different blouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Than it was.
And like you say, there's good and bad on both sides. But just be responsible with human
But
beings.
there is a way, dude. Like, okay, like we were just in the UK, hanging out with some police after a show, talking normally, and everything was good and cool. And my bandmate, he was like, "Look at this, man. They don't have guns. They're not causing trouble. Like, don't cause trouble. Right. Don't go looking for trouble to cause. Because what are you guys bored? Yeah. Are you bored? Yeah. Well, then do something different.
That you hear though, where everybody's afraid on both sides of it. Everybody just wants to go home and see their family, but that doesn't give anyone the excuse to incite violence on either side.
They need to stop pushing.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, it is unnecessary.
Yeah.
It is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, someone calls for help, be there.
Right.
Because they're as much as sometimes, like. And I gotta remember, as much as we need them, as much as we just don't want that bullshit.
Right. That's something that no one.
I have friends that are police too. And when I talk to them, these are people I grew up with.
Yeah.
When I talk to them, like we cool. Yeah. There's no separation.
Right.
But you can tell there's a training that happens that creates a divide,
right.
And that needs to be rethought, reworked, because we got to work as a community. We all links in this chain of love. Underneath it all is love. We all want respect. We all don't want to be too drunk. If you're too drunk, help them out. Go dry them up. Yeah. If like in some countries, people do drugs. They do drugs. Yeah. They're drug users, or some of them are drug addicts. Get them the proper help. Don't slam them off in jail. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or don't put them off in jail to make profit. Yeah.
And like you said, and you said this early on, just talking about yourself as an artist and how the foundation of what you do is love.
Yeah,
and it's interesting. And again, I think you can even take that when you think of philosophies, when you think of culture. At the end of the day, at the foundation of it all, it's always love. It should be love, and we have gotten so far away from that as a society, as a culture, as a race, as a species. And to now the label of things that we put love on is not really love.
Right, because the snakes in the grass is the power and the control.
There it is.
That's what it is.
There it is.
They ain't never changed.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not pointing fingers, but what it is what it is. The snakes in the grass of just on an energetic level is the lust for power and the control. Because everything else is just love. When the most powerful is done, stepping on the others, they go and sit with their families, and that love is there. Yeah. So like this, I think it has to be some kind of like disease, some kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what makes people power thirsty like that? And I have to ask myself that sometimes too. I'm not like that. Yeah. But fuck, what if one day that what if I did do that?
Yeah.
I need to really check myself. And that's why it's good to have people in your life that constantly check you.
Yeah.
So it's like break that, like, pow.
Yeah.
I popped your bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
But then also being willing to receive that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To put yourself out there and say, hey, call me on my BS.
Dude, sometimes your shit stinks.
Yeah.
Most times your
Yeah.
shit stinks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or sometimes, hey man, I just wanted to say, yeah, shit on your face.
Yeah.
You might want to wipe it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we forget.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
We get caught up in it ourselves.
Got these rose-colored glasses, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. SlimKid3. So go pick up the album. So in prepping for getting an opportunity to connect with you on this, and once again, I'm so gracious that you would take this time to do this. Been rocking the EP, been spinning it on the radio. So excited about where it's going, seeing the love that the project that you did with Numark, and then again watching you share your journey with the world through social media. And then I just saw pop up on the timeline that you have not only been touring with Bizarre Ride, but y'all did some recording.
Yeah, we did some recording,
Dude,
man.
I didn't know that was coming.
We made this. John LAJ made this. Had us make this mixtape. It's called Titty.
Dude.
And it came on a little cassette. It has a little cassette, but inside the cassette was like a download where you could download what because if people ain't got cassettes, he was just like saying, remember cassettes?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Such a cool idea.
Yeah, so that's cool. So it's like kind of, it's buzzing.
Yeah.
It's buzzing. And we, like the song that you heard, what is it?
The one that I got is Life. What is it?
Double Life.
Double Life. Yeah.
Double Life.
Dude.
With the little Deepak Chopra thing, and
Yes.
we gotta contact him so we can be like, you inspired us, and that's why we put this on there. But we gotta work it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really for sale right now at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something we did,
Which
because
is
we wanted to
ridiculous.
get it out to the folks. Like, yo, cause we've been out to Europe so many times. Every time we go there, we don't have nothing new. So we as we're recording.
Yeah.
And we don't even know like where we're gonna be at, like label wise or whatever.
Right.
But we need to get our fans something.
Right.
Show them that, yo, we doing this.
But I may be mistaken. I don't have my internet up at the moment, but I believe that folk can run over the stone's throw.
Oh.
And scoop it.
Okay.
I believe that's what I saw.
Well, shoot. Well, I gotta circle back. I'm just so busy. I don't, like when it's right, it's gonna be right, and that's because I know that we are all heads in.
Yeah.
And LAJ got beats, my dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just sends them to me and K-Nat, and we go in. Like when I came here, I was like, K-Nat, when you get this message,
Right.
call warn a brother.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what's up. So between touring with the Bizarre Ride crew, and then really just promoting the SlimKid3 DJ Numark project.
Yep.
I mean, is there any opportunity for the fans to see you and Numark?
Yeah, working on that now.
Okay.
Got some things in the works. You know what? I gotta put some folks on the map for Portland though, because I was working on my DJ Numark, SlimKid3 DJ Numark album at the same time as I was doing the album with Tony Ozier, Doodoo Funk, my dude.
Funk
Yes, sir.
Portland.
So check it, and the album is basically done. We got to master it, and I'll probably be selling those at shows, and he will be too. And I'm definitely we started rehearsing with the Doodoo Funk band.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be performing here in Portland with them all the time, just because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing my other things, you know what I mean? So these are extensions of me. I'm like the octopus right now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he's also working with me on my Moonbeam Kelly project as well.
Okay.
Kelly Rash
is
a singer that I've been working with, and I gotta play you some stuff, man.
All right.
But when we're getting it together, man.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah,
it's gonna be, it's hot, it's fly, I just love it.
That's what's up.
It's a lot of good stuff, man.
So once again, as an artist, kind of going back a little bit, we talked about, you've had an opportunity to be here and do this for a number of years.
Yeah.
Do you often get people reaching out to you to say, hey, I'm an MC, I'm a singer, I'm a DJ, I'm a whomever, and I want to get on, and I value what you've shown me over these 20 years? I mean, do you
Okay.
get that often?
Well, not so much. I could, but I remain pretty low key out here.
That's yeah.
I keep, you know what I mean. I keep
Yeah.
that. I don't tell people what I do.
Yeah.
If they discover it, they discover it.
Yeah.
But this is my home,
Right.
and I'm just like this. I'm like to like have my space of. People can talk to me about it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
But I'm here to live my life, my regular life,
Right.
with raise my family and
Right.
and have fun and all kind of debauchery and whatever Portland has to offer, good foods and good times,
Yeah.
But this is what it's here. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Who I work with currently out here in Portland also is Beats Lyrics Leaders, and they work with kids. You know what I mean? So we've been working with kids. I got a couple little. My friend Maiji, his daughter is a rapper, and then another friend of mine who was in my Taekwondo school, their daughter is a rapper.
Okay.
Her name's Naya, and
Okay.
and Maiji's daughter's name is Anaya.
Okay.
So I'm like, I gotta make some music happen for these two cats because they're really about it.
Yeah.
Like they're like I think one's 11,
Yeah.
and the other girl she might be like 12 or 13 or something like that, but
Okay.
fire.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm definitely participating in that in all the right ways because Beats Lyrics Leaders, we work with kids at like every different stage of kind of like what Reggie Andrews did for us.
There you go.
I'm doing with them, and the funny thing is like I do music consultation for folks too.
Yeah.
They pay me by the hour, but I do work with people with their music. I listen to their music or I listen to them and I can just tell. It's kind of like my wife introduced me to the what is that? Not Katy Perry project, but there's another project. It's not Katy Perry project.
Okay.
4 Non-Blondes.
Oh, okay.
Band person. I forgot her name.
Linda Perry.
Oh, Linda Perry.
Yes.
That's right.
Make or break.
Make or break.
Yes.
Linda Perry.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm feeling her, man. Like just in the way that she does things, just in the way that she gets to the core of people, and that's kind of what I have a talent to do as well. I can look at a person, be it music, be it whatever, and I can see where they're at.
Yeah.
I can see where they're really going.
Yeah.
Some people like jump into music and think it's a big payoff, and I'm looking at you. We're all watching.
Yeah.
It's like we're all the universe's eyes on you.
Yeah.
And when you're not telling the truth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that, hey, you're not wrong for it,
Yeah.
but you're not really being you.
Yeah.
So what I do is see what it is that they are passionate about and that they do,
Yeah.
and then I encourage that.
Once again, brother, I'm so grateful and honored to just have you come and share a little bit of your time.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? It's dope that I feel like I can reach out to you and ask you for this. So thank you for being for being available. You know what I mean? Once again, run over to SlimKid3.com, SlimKid3.com.
Yes, sir.
Go pick up the latest project, SlimKid3 and DJ Numark. It's self-titled. It's a dope EP. Go get the Bizarre Ride project.
Yep. Catch
from
yourself
Stone's
up.
Throw. Exactly. It's dope.
Yep.
Be on the look for the man. I'm looking forward to hearing the Doodoo Funk collab.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be ridiculous.
I gotta master it. I need to get it. I'm gonna call Tony as soon as I leave here.
That's what's up.
And
then like I said, man, follow Trey on social media.
Yep. We're at Bizarre Ride Live on Bizarre Ride Live on Facebook. SlimKid3 on Facebook, at SlimKid3 on Instagram, at SlimKid3 on Twitter. Usually my team is on Twitter doing it for me because
you on the road.
I ain't got the I ain't got the attention span. But live and direct. Sorry. That's my DJ thing.
Yes,
but
yeah,
that everybody's waiting for.
I know, man. That's
yeah. Everybody's like, "Where is it? When are they coming back, yo?" Woo.
That was the joint.
Yeah, that's the jam. That's the I need to get my DJ on.
Exactly,
big up to Nature. Big up to Real Shines, Colton.
Colton Tall, all night too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, BizarreRideLive.com, Bizarre Ride hit the like button on Bizarre Ride Live on Facebook, and we'll keep everybody updated with what we're doing and things like that. Definitely want to get that titty.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. It's called titty. I didn't name it.
Yes, it is.
But the reason is like they just want to give you a little taste. Oh boy,
it's dope though. It's dope.
It's dope. It's rude. I didn't name it.
Yeah, we giving that one spin for sure. And welcome to the neighborhood. You know.
Oh man, just shits and giggles and laughs.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
you said, man, you do have to enjoy the moments that we have,
man.
For real.
Yeah.
SlimKid3, man, Bizarre Ride Live. Go check them out whenever they're in your neighborhood, and connect on social media. Thanks again.
That's right. That's right.
All right, y'all. Check out DJCliff.com, DJKLYPH.com. Some of the other podcasts that we have up there. Check out Welcome to the Neighborhood every Saturday night on xray.fm, 107.1 FM and 91.1 FM in the Portland metro area. So until next time, y'all, man, y'all be good. God bless you. And I'm out. Peace.
Peace.